This is Humgen. Our guest today is Muscogee National Council Representative Adam Jones III, currently serving the council in the B seat of McIntosh District. This is episode 1. We join the conversation already in progress. Your host is Duncan Davis. Okay, so Adam, why do you believe that it's been difficult to have a working relationship between the executive office and the National Council?
It goes back to the spring of 2020. It was in April of 2020 when we found out the chief had paid a ransom.
This is right after the election, right?
Right, well, it's a few months after the election.
But I mean, after he took office?
Yes.
Right after he took office?
Yes. And roughly there was paid $440,000 to the hackers. It was a mama group, and they actually hijacked our IT. The total payment was $470,000. The concern that I had was that the citizens were never notified about the ransom or any of the information that was hacked. And you know, if you want true transparency, as we bring to the table, true honesty, true transparency, all the citizens should know exactly what's going on completely.
So at what point did the National Council learn that there had been a hack and a breach of data?
Not until after the ransom was paid on the following. So there was just rumor that there was a ransom or an actual ransom paid. And so we had a BF&J meeting on, it was the 21st of May when we found out.
How did that come out?
Well, it was just hearsay, so I asked the chief and other business if that was true, that he had paid a ransom without council approval.
So nobody approved the payment?
Nobody approved the payment through council, no.
So how do you come up with $470,000? That's nearly $500,000. How do you come with that kind of money, convert it to Bitcoin, pay ransom to hackers, and nobody's authorized that?
That was our question. Being to the chief, how do you pay that without council approval? And to bring it before the council to know, as he has sat on the council for 13 years with us, that's what we had asked, how do you do that? They went directly into want to go to a private meeting on Monday or on Friday morning to go over this. And we went to a meeting on Friday the 22nd at roughly 9 o'clock in the morning with the full council. But it's after the monies have already been paid. The problem that I felt like the biggest problem was that the citizens were never notified. That's where I keep saying transparency and true honesty is to let the citizens know that information was hacked, to know or not to know if their information was breached, but not to let the citizen know is not transparency.
So is it common for a member of the executive office to have access to $500,000?
It's not in our budget, no. I don't believe there's a budget line item for ransom. So back to this question of, you know, getting how come it's difficult to have a working relationship with the chief. I think we've tried to work with the chief. I think all council members, candidates, if you win this election, that you hold each other accountable. You hold your colleagues accountable. You hold yourself accountable. You hold the chief accountable. Because we're accountable to the people and to the citizens. So
you have been kind of brought to the forefront of somebody who will hold other officials accountable. Has that been an easy thing for you?
It's not hard to do the right thing.
A lot of backlash, maybe?
Well, sometimes doing the right thing makes people angry, but you know, it's the right thing to do. You know, if you're elected to a position to you know, take care of and represent and serve the people, then that's what you should do, no matter what.
So personally, then, you don't really have any hard feelings against anybody?
Oh, not at all.
Just doing the right thing is
It's the job.
It's the job. How would you have done that differently if the council would have known ahead of time? And because the council is a brilliant body that works. I mean, it works. That's how we've been doing it for years, decades.
Yes, our elders create a awesome. Our government's created in the right way, I believe, to serve the people.
Yes. And so, how do you think that would have been done differently?
I believe if the chief would have came to the council, he would have seen that the council would have came together to direct him possibly not to pay the ransom. But the fact is, if he would have came to the council, the direction either way would have taken all the weight off the chief's back. You know, he wouldn't have had to make a decision by himself.
Would that have helped relationships to be better because this is literally one of the first things that happened right out of the gate with him being a new chief? And do you think that that would have set a different tone for the direction of his administration?
I believe so. I believe so. I believe that we would have shown that honesty is the key to work together. We don't hide anything from him, and he doesn't hide anything from us. So that, you know, as I've stated before in council meetings, that the National Council and the administration are married, so we work together to get things done. There's nothing that one can do without the other. The chief is the administration of the employees, and we don't hire, we don't fire, we legislate. We're over the budget process and our fiduciary duty of the monies of the tribe. Any contract that comes through has to be approved by the council, and the chief, he's the one that initiates and actually administers. That's what administration does.
So these things that you're saying, and again, you brought these things to the forefront and obviously caught a lot of people's attention at the Muscogee Forum. These are not private things. These are not hearsay that you're talking about. This is actually public record.
This is public record. This is on the National Council website. You can go up to and you click on the Muscogee Creek Nation, pull up National Council website. In the upper right, there's 3 bars. Click on that, and you can click on the information through fact finding. It's fact finding for June 23rd and June 25th, and all the information's on there. It's about 125 pages.
You say June 23rd and June 25th of 2020.
Of 2020, yes.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
And so any citizen can go to the website and can look these things up.
Yes, that's correct.
And so some of the there's a lot more deep. This is not just a little few things that you've been saying here that has obviously piqued a lot of people's attention. There's a lot to this.
Yes, and it's not the question I always ask was, and even ask Chief in person, is why haven't the citizens been notified about this? It's a big deal to me. Is that, you know, if we're going to truly be transparent with a citizen, know what transparency means, and be transparent and tell all.
Well, and obviously the chief is not here to defend himself, so we won't speak for him. You can't say what his response was.
No.
But has there been a response until you sort of let the cat out of the bag at the Muscogee Forum? Nobody really knew that was an issue. Is that correct?
Didn't seem to. There's a few that did. The few on the council, all the council knew. Administration knows. There's a few people outside, different citizens know, but the majority know.
How did this theft of information affect our government, our tribe?
Actually shut the nation down for a few days, trying to get back in because information was encrypted. So that was a big deal. I think there was a lot of scare trying to get things done, trying to get us back on our feet and the nation back to in full service. But even today, if you look at the transcript, I believe we're only at 92% what was recovered.
Recovered data.
Mm-hmm, recovered data.
So we never did get everything back then.
That's my understanding through the transcripts and what we were told.
Do the transcripts reveal what areas of data was harvested by the hijackers or the hackers?
Yes, the transcripts do say that. It came from part of social services. I'll just have to look at the transcript because I'm not sure on that.
But people can go and see.
Oh, people can go and see
because obviously, if somebody has had dealings with social services and have given their information to them, that information was breached. Is that correct?
Possibly.
Possibly. So it would probably benefit the average citizen to do a little fact finding.
Oh yes, for sure.
What measures and what steps have been put in place through the nation to ensure that we're not going to be vulnerable to another hack?
There's been a major overhaul of our IT system. Now, I think they still kept a lot of the same people that were there because I think they have a firewall and they brought people in to keep anybody from actually coming in the back door like it did. I can't really say for that because we haven't been involved in that.
But we have put protocols in place so that our data is more secure than it was prior to the attack.
I would say yes, but I still can't say for sure because I'm not over. That's an administrative duty. So, but as a council, those are things that we'd still like to know.
Humgen can be heard on Facebook, YouTube, and Anchor Podcasts. Humgen is produced by Ageless Digitworks, a communication and media company located on Lake Eufaula.